Now, France, Italy, Britain, and Germany are stepping up pressure on Israel over its settlement plans in the occupied West Bank.
These four countries are urging Israel to scrap a major housing project in the sensitive E1 area, warning it could undermine prospects for a future Palestinian state. The move comes as Gaza's humanitarian crisis deepens. The latest international pressure centers on Israel's E1 settlement project just east of Jerusalem. Israel has opened bidding for more than 1,200 homes in the area as part of a wider plan for around 3,400 housing units. France, Italy, Germany and Britain have jointly called for the plans to be withdrawn immediately and for Israel to halt settlement expansion in the West Bank.
The four governments have also warned businesses against bidding for the construction tenders, saying they could risk involvement in serious breaches of international law. The E1 area is particularly sensitive because it lies between Jerusalem and the Israeli settlement of Ma'ale Adumim. The United Nations says and has warned that construction there could threaten the territorial continuity required for a future Palestinian state.
Israel has also rejected the criticism British Foreign Secretary Ed Miliband demanded an end to the project, while London summoned Israel's chargé d'affaires Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar hit back, even accusing Britain of blaming Israel while ignoring Palestinian extremism. He said Israel would defend its rights, interests and people. Britain has also warned it could impose sanctions on individuals involved in settlement expansion. The latest tender covers around one-third of the planned E1 development, with bids due in October, shortly before Israel's scheduled elections.
The diplomatic dispute comes as a humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues. The United Nations says Palestinian civilians, including children, are still being killed and injured in Israeli airstrikes, shelling and gunfire. The UN says the remains of 50 Palestinians, including 19 children, have recently been recovered from beneath the rubble and buried in Gaza City. Families carried the remains through the streets devastated by the war, with some saying they had waited years to recover their loved ones. The United Nations says efforts to clear rubble and recover bodies are being hampered by shortages of heavy machinery, spare parts and other supplies.
Now, the UN estimates that around 94% of Gaza's 2.1 million people need shelter and basic household assistance. Many families are living in tents or makeshift shelters, while shortages are raising concerns ahead of the coming cold and rainy season. The UN is also calling for an independent investigation into the killing of 5-year-old Palestinian girl Hind Rajab and her family. Israel has announced a criminal investigation into these deaths.
Meanwhile, efforts to revive a fragile Gaza ceasefire appear to be stalling. The war, triggered by the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel, has killed more than 73,000 Palestinians, according to Gaza's health ministry. With fighting continuing and settlement expansion drawing fresh international condemnation, pressure on Israel is growing on both the diplomatic and humanitarian fronts.